Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Chapter 4, Introducing Western Sociology. And our topic is Durkheim's Vision of Sociology. Durkheim's vision of sociology as a new scientific discipline was characterized by two defining features. First, the subject matter of sociology, the study of social facts, was different from the other sciences. Sociology concerned itself exclusively with what he called the emergent level, that is, the level of complex collective life where social phenomena can emerge. These phenomena, for example, social institutions like religion or the family, or social values like friendship or patriotism, etc., were only possible in a complex whole that was larger than and different from its constituent parts. Although it is composed entirely of individuals, a collective social entity like a football or cricket team becomes something other than and much more than just a collection of 11 persons. Social entities like teams, political parties, street gangs, religious communities, nations, and so on belong to a different level of reality than the level of individuals. It is this emergent level that sociology studies. The second defining feature of Durkheim's vision of sociology was that, like most of the natural sciences, it was to be an empirical discipline. This was actually a difficult claim to make because social phenomena are by their very nature abstract. We cannot see a collective entity like the Jain community or the Bengali or Malayalam or Marathi speaking community or the Nepalese or Egyptian national communities. At least we cannot see them in the same straightforward way that we can see a tree or a boy or a cloud. Even when the social phenomena is small, like a family or a theater group, we can directly see only the individuals who make up the collectivity. We cannot see the collectivity itself. One of the Durkheim's most significant achievements in his demonstration that sociology, a discipline that dealt with abstract entities like social facts, could nevertheless be a science founded on observable, empirically verifiable evidence. Although not directly observable, social facts were indirectly observable through the patterns of behavior. The most famous example of his use of a new kind of empirical data is in his study of suicide. Although each individual case of suicide was specific to the individual and his or her circumstances, the average rate of suicide aggregated across hundreds of thousands of individuals in a community was a social fact. Thus, social facts could be observed via social behavior and specifically aggregated patterns of social behavior. So, what are social facts? Social facts are like things. They are external to the individual but constrain their behavior. Institutions like law, education, and religion constitute social facts. Social facts are collective representations which emerge from the association of people. They are not particular to a person but of a general nature, independent of the individual. Attributes like beliefs, feelings, or collective practices are examples. Now, the next topic is division of labor in society. In his book, Division of Labor in Society, Durkheim demonstrated his method of analysis to explain the evolution of society from the primitive to the modern. He classified a society by nature of social solidarity which existed in that society. He argued that while a primitive society was organized according to mechanical solidarity, modern society was based on organic solidarity. Mechanical solidarity is founded on the similarity of its individual members and is found in societies with small populations. It typically involves a collection of different self-sufficient groups where each person within a particular group is engaged in similar activities or functions. As the solidarity or ties between people are based on similarity and personal relationships, such societies are not very tolerant of differences, and any violation of the norms of the community attracts harsh punishment. In other words, mechanical solidarity based societies have repressive laws designed to prevent deviation from community norms. This was because the individual and the community were so tightly integrated that it was feared that any violation of codes of conduct could result in the disintegration of the community. Organic solidarity characterizes modern society and is based on the heterogeneity of its members. It is found in societies with large populations where most social relationships necessarily have to be impersonal. Such a society is based on institutions, and each of its constituent groups or units is not self-sufficient but dependent on other units or groups for their survival. Independence is the essence of organic solidarity. It celebrates individuals and allows for their need to be different from each other and recognizes their multiple roles and organic ties. The laws of modern society are restitutive in nature rather than repressive. This means that in modern societies, the law aims to repair or correct the wrong that is done by a criminal act. By contrast, in primitive societies, the law sought to punish wrongdoers and enforced a sort of collective revenge for their acts. In modern societies, the individual was given some autonomy, whereas in primitive societies, the individual was totally submerged in the collectivity. A characteristic feature of modern societies is that individuals with similar goals come together voluntarily to form groups and associations, as these are groups oriented towards specific goals. They remain distinct from each other and do not seek to take over the entire life of its members. Thus, individuals have many different identities in different contexts. This enables individuals to emerge from the shadow of the community and establish their distinct identity in terms of the functions they perform and the roles they play. Since all individuals have to depend on others for the fulfillment of their basic needs like food, clothing, shelter, and education, their intensity of interaction with others increases. Impersonal rules and regulations are required to govern social relations in such societies because personalized relations can no longer be maintained in a large population. The division of labor in society provides a good purview of Durkheim's enduring concerns. His effort to create a new scientific discipline with a distinct subject which can be empirically validated is clearly manifested in the way he discusses the different types of social solidarity as social facts. His objective and secular analysis of the social ties which underlie different types of society laid the foundation of sociology as the new science of society. Max Weber was one of the leading German social thinkers of his time. Despite long periods of physical and mental ill health, he has left a rich legacy of sociological writing. He wrote extensively on many subjects, but focused on developing an interpretive sociology of social action and of power and domination. Another major concern of Weber was the process of rationalization in modern society and the relationship of the various religions of the world with this process. Now, let us wind up the session and thank you very much for engaging yourself with the Self Learning podcast.